Hello, my name is Jacob Locklear. As you may have known already, I'm a pretty cool kid. I don't live by the rules. I eat bagels on a low temperature. I keep my fan on when I'm eating hot foods. I wear a beanie. I have long hair. I make inexplicit gestures when I'm talking. I like cream cheese. But you know what else I like? Consent. If somebody's not into something, don't make them do it. Make sure you have their complete and full consent towards the connection. Even if you are sexually ideally created and attracted to non-consensual sexual experiences, consent is key, even in those experiences. Make sure you have a safe word. Make sure your partner is completely comfortable with her sexual pleasures. But don't forget to enjoy yourself. Because sex is the ultimate procreation of humanity's trust for one another. Having sex with somebody means you know them, you love them, and you appreciate them so much that you want to be literally inside of them. And that's beautiful. What people need to learn to do is to think outside of the box, but outside of the box within the outsideness of that box. Because what people do is when they think that they have outside box thinking, what they don't realize is that by having that thinking, they're overall expanding the box that they're trying to escape from. So while they might have thought they are escaping from the box and thinking outside of the box, while other people are thinking so much outside of the box, it has created a new sized box. A giant box where outside thinking is considered inside thinking now. So, what you gotta do is you gotta go to an entirely new level of outside thinking. You have to think about the things that nobody thinks about. Like, think about a situation, think about the consequences of that situation, think about what happened to lead up to that situation. Every single event in history before that, and every single event that will happen after that as the cause of that, or the effect of that in that case. But you gotta go even higher as to what even created that specific event to happen, and if there's a future event that will overall affect the memory of that event. Example. If you buy an ice cream, and later down the line, you spill that ice cream. Now, you're now going to think of that memory of you buying the ice cream as a sad event because that was hopefulness for the ice cream to prevail and for you to consume it. But had you not consumed that ice cream, you have now turned that good memory of you buying the ice cream into a bad one by adding on a bad memory of that same ice cream. Now, before, the memories of that ice cream were non-existent. You may have thought about getting ice cream, but had not yet. Now, those are different patterns, different waves. Now, getting the ice cream, not getting the ice cream, and then everything around that. It's not just two different forms. It's not just getting the ice cream, not getting the ice cream. It's getting the ice cream, getting strawberry ice cream, getting chocolate ice cream, getting vanilla ice cream, or not getting the ice cream, not getting the ice cream because you were killed, not getting the ice cream because you didn't have enough money, not getting the ice cream because you decided you didn't want to. There's so many different outcomes for the possible outcomes and branches of each different branch. It is the giant tree of time itself. Bagel. Some people say that time is a construct of human imagination. That is true, but so is every single other measurement that we use. Inches, feet, yards, meters, miles, whatever. That is us. That is our conception of distance. That is just what humans would perceive as a type of distance from one object or one place to another. Another example, weight. Now, what humans would consider weight is the weight of our gravity pulling us towards our specific planet. But on different other planets or different variations of our own planet, the weight system would be completely different. So that is what we personally conceive to be our weight on an average, on what most people would use, right? The center of gravity for the Earth. It's obvious everybody's on it except for a couple people up in space, but that's it. That's your weight. Mass. It's used to measure the physical matters of a body or a thing. But what they don't measure is the outputs, the brain waves, the different lights that are reflecting off of your eyes, the different pigments that your skin and eyes make, all those things. It fails to mention those because those are not physical objects. Those are not things you can see. Visuals, those are something that you need. Hearing, visuals, smells, tastes, and feelings. All of those different senses of what we would perceive to be the real world. But what about every other animal? Every other animal has similar senses, but different and very small yet unique ways. Different animals would perceive the world to be a lot different than others. Like, there is a specific type of cave fish that does not have eyes because it lives in caves so dark. It is evolved without eyes because it saw no need for them. That cave fish now does not know what sight is. It has no need for them. It has never experienced it because it has no eyes. It was born with no eyes. It doesn't know what sight is. It relies on all other senses. So if somebody tried to explain to that cave fish what sight was, it wouldn't work because they've never experienced anything like sight. It goes for the same for people with, like, color blindness. Like, you can't describe a color. That is something very specific. Like, you could say pink. This is a light pink. It's kind of a little bit lighter than usual. It's pink, so it's the combined colors of red and white. But you can't describe pink if you've never seen pink before. By saying pink, that's pretty much our description of the color. So in order to know what a color is, you need to have a visual representation of it in your mind. Like, if somebody came up with a new word for a color, like tobacus, you might come up with something in your mind, but you wouldn't have an actual fact of what that color is. Fact and opinion. This is also another human measurement for our perceptions. Fact and opinion can be variated. Have you ever, I know there's this sentence online where it says, the sentence to the right is false, and then the sentence on the right says the sentence to the left is true. But those statements contradict each other. So is that a fact or an opinion, or is it a statement? But which statement would be correct? It goes against what we could perceive as fact and opinion. It's just another thing on the spectrum of that we lock ourselves into. If you don't think about things on a higher scheme into the bigger picture, you're not really thinking. You're just seeing through these little goggles of yours that have been clouded off and shaped into a perfect circle just for the necessities. But if you really think about it, everything is so much more intricate than it actually seems. The visuals, just eyes amaze me so much because different colors can be seen. We have depth perception, so we can see the 3D of an object. We know how far away it is. We know we have a basic sense of when our finger will touch that object within a relative time. Fingers runs up to the brain, sends a signal, you know it all, people have said it before, more inside of the outside of the box thinking. But everything is so intricate because every little tiny detail or interesting fact or tidbit that you ever heard about our world is not happening separately from one another. They're all happening continuously at the same exact time. So it's pretty much just casual wonders that are going on behind us that we don't even take notice of anymore or appreciate. It's just kind of things that we've gotten used to. But why? Why can't we appreciate that anymore? I mean, it's beautiful. It's amazing. Everything is so interesting and intricate and defined and detailed and literally fitted for perfectness of senses and feelings and emotions. It's just so wonderful. But you cannot forget. This is a good baby. Hold on. You cannot forget. Humans are not special. Right. We're smart. Okay, big whoop. But can you make a car on your own? Probably not. You need to send that through factories. Can you make a pencil on your own? You could try. Probably wouldn't be that good, but you could try. Can you make a gun on your own? Can you make a tape dispenser on your own? Can you make a shoe on your own? No. It is the togetherness that makes us so smart, because we share knowledge and pass it down through generations. That's what happens. That's what we do. But we're not special. We're not special in any way. We got lucky. That's true. We got lucky because we are the single most populated, well, most densely populated, I guess, across the globe. And we build these giant constructs and figures to prove it and stay there. But we are animals. We are animals. We're mammals. We evolved, same as every living thing on this planet, from one unicellular unit. This same exact cell that was the tiniest little living thing was a living thing. And through evolution, everything kind of branched off from that cell and created their own genetic recipes and codes for different environmental issues that they had to deal with. Humans are evolved from monkeys and apes, or a specific type of African monkey, but we're not going to get into that. So, we're monkeys, but there are monkeys, right? So why aren't monkeys smart too? Because there were specific species of monkeys that didn't exactly do the same thing as Homo sapiens, or the other humans that existed about 1 billion years ago. There was two different races of humans, two races that got lucky. And no, it wasn't black and white. We're the same race, we just different pigments. It's literally, we're the same. It was an entirely separate, I guess you could call it the Neanderthals. They were worse, kind of. They were still functioning, but not functioning enough. They were basically cavemen. And then modern humans came in. Modern enough, just kind of hairier and beastier, just a tiny bit. But modern humans came about. They died off due to, what's it called? We're learning about it in biology right now. It's why I sound so smart right now. Natural selection. Due to that, whatever, big word, fuck that. So, natural selection killed off the worst brand of humans. But that means that we were, at one time, a victim of the animal kingdom. We were a part of it. We were a contributing factor. We could just make large sticks that predators actually had built into their bodies, but we could do that. Yeah. So we're kind of like a jack of all trades. We could make things to build to our advantage and add on to our bodies. But we got lucky. And we're no different. It could have been any species, obviously. Had they just done it the same way that we did, turtles could have been running the world right now if they were strong enough. Fucking lions. Lions could be running the world if they made it their way out of fucking Africa and anything. We just got lucky. And we lived, and we survived. And now I'm sitting in my room explaining it to you all while eating a bagel. I can't explain this thoroughly. It's hard to. I have it going on constantly in my mind, but it's hard to put into words just to kind of get the entire idea out to people. It's just outside of the inside of the outside box thinking. That's what I'm gonna call it. That's what it is. Anyways, think way too much, enjoy the beauty of the world, and eat a bagel.